Hello everyone, my name is Sahil and welcome to my channel. I'm a real estate consultant advisor. I am on a journey to create information, spread information, create awareness, knowledge about real estate. So that whenever you plan to buy or you're planning to buy your house, your real estate, your first residential house or your residential real estate, you know what you're doing. So nobody can take advantage of you. You are a well-informed, researched investor. So to know what you're doing, how you're doing, and do it perfectly and get the maximum benefit out of it. So this is episode 6 where I'll be teaching you how to calculate your budget. How do you define you wanna, how much you wanna spend on your flat or your residential property. So let's talk about decide your use case. Who are you? Why do you need it? What do you want to get out of it? So first example, you're a consumer, you're an end user. You want to use that flat for your own personally. So how do you make that decision of what to buy? And how do you make the decision of how much to spend on that particular property? So what you do is you should be having 20% of the down payment. 20% amount of the money as down payment, and 80% you can get easily as a loan. You can get even 90%. That is also a good deal. You can get 90% amount as loan, and 20% where you can 10% is for your house, and other you can use for registration. So if you're someone from Maharashtra, you have to pay the registration at first. When you book the flat, you have to register it to yourself. In other state, we have in the northern state also, we have the option of registering when we get the occupancy of that particular unit, right? So if you are someone who's an end user and you have 20% saved for down payment and 80% you can take loan amount. So how do we calculate that 20%? How much do you want to save? So if you are an individual who is investing, so take your CTC. CTC includes all your income. Either it's your salary income, your if you're getting some rent from anywhere else, your if you're doing some freelancing work or a side gig, if you're doing anything, all your income, combine them. Take 5 years of your CTC. So if you're someone who has maybe 12 lakh annual CTC, you're getting 12 lakh CTC. So you can make it 5x, which is 60. Cool. So this is your budget. You can afford a 60 lakh property, and you have to now get 20% out of it and use that as your down payment, and rest 80% can be financed. If you're an individual, so you can take 90% loan as well. Why is that? Because if you're a bachelor who is planning to buy that, because as a bachelor your expenses will be comparatively less. You can adjust that. You can, for the initial years you can do that. If you're a couple, young couple, you have a combined wealth of your 15 lakh CTCs, yours and your wife's 15-16 lakh. You can use that 5x again, 5x formula. This 5x is your CTC, which will provide you the maximum tax benefit. This will make you comfortable and provide you the maximum tax benefit. So if you're someone who is this, I would suggest, if you're someone who is taking 90% loan and 10% down payment, I would suggest to invest in a property which is under construction. Why is that? Because that's how you can get the maximum benefit, because you won't be paying that money now. So your EMI at the start would be less, because the more the bank pays to the builder, every builder has this slab wise, completion wise rate. So you pay 10%, then 10%, then 5%, then 10%. As the building develops, the progress of construction goes up, you pay. That's how the bank will be paying the loan, the money to the developer. And that's how your EMI will be calculated. If the 10% amount is of the money is meant, 10% is paid to the developer. Your EMI be based on that 10%. Now again 5% is paid. Now you'll be paying EMI on that 5%. Then 15%, then 10, then that's how slowly your EMI goes up. And by the time your EMI will go around 50, you'll be maybe switching your jobs, maybe upskilling yourself, you'll be having a promotion or increment, your source of income will be increasing. That's how you can make sense of the out of this. So you can get the maximum benefit when you go to under construction property. And the earlier it is, the better unit you can get. If you're an end user, you can get the better unit, you can get a better deal, you can get the maximum income tax benefit. Plus you can be comfortable when you get that unit in your hand. With not you'll be able to use leverage to your advantage, and you'll be able to not break your pocket, have a decent enjoyable life. Plus you'll be able to own an asset. If you're a young couple, then you can pool your income and try to make a 20% down payment. You shouldn't be going for 90-10 plan. You should going for 20% down payment. And because as a family you'll be having the next 4 years, you might be planning for a kid, so you might have a little more expenses compared to a bachelor. So you should be going for 20% down payment, 80% this, and you can make it 5 to 6x your annual CTC income. So you can both can get the maximum tax benefit. You should be taking loan for both of you, the name in the loan of you and your wife. That's how you can get the maximum benefit. This is for someone who is the end user. If you're an investor, what you're supposed to do is you should be focusing on getting the property which is the cheapest. So if you're going for a project, the formula is same for you as well, but the variable is you should be investing in a property which is the cheapest, because you're not going to consume it, you'll be renting it out. So you should be focusing on the closer the property is, because as soon as you can start the rental income, as soon as you'll be free from the cycle of paying that loan. So if you find a property which is 20, in a 50% done stage, and you'll be getting the position in 2 years, then you should be going for that property, because you'll be able to make the maximum benefit out of it. You'll be able to claim tax benefit, and soon you'll be able to get that property on rent, and you'll be able to fund your EMI through that rent. You'll be paying a little bit of amount, but that's it. So that's how you'll be able to decide your budget. If you're an investor, your focus should be on getting the property as the cheapest. So you won't be going for the idle units, you will be going for the unit which are less preferred. If you are an investor, you will be going for units with a little less space, because when you're an end user, you're planning to buy a house for quite a long future. So you'll be very picky about, I need this amount of space at least, and that. But if you're an investor, you don't have to worry about the space. If the carpet is little less, you can work for it, but that should be extremely low in value. Same 20% down payment, 80% loan, 5 to 6x your CTC to get the maximum tax benefit. And the lower the amount of your EMI you have, the better it is, because you'll be able to substitute that with your rent, and you'll be neutral. So you might not be getting anything in the couple of initial years, but in few years, after the property, you get the property, and maybe in next 4 years you'll be able to fund your EMI through the rent, and you'll be able to save some percentage of that rent for yourself also. So this is the strategy which is used for budgeting, and that's how you can plan your next or your purchase, real estate purchase, and get the best deal in terms of value. Don't plan on reselling it and getting the capital appreciation, then buying another property, then reselling. I'll explain in a different video I'll explain in the next video how this can be bad for you, but this is how you calculate your budget. Thank you for watching. This is it for this video. Please, if you're liking this series, do comment, share your thoughts. I would appreciate a loving it comment. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.